Hi, besties. You've found your community bestie to share thoughts and opinions, recap the shows we love,
Having too much fun.
Bravo should be fun.
and have piping hot gossip sessions about the celebrities and Bravo lebs we love, hate, and love to hate.
He went on a podcast claiming he had a threesome with two women from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Immediately, I was like, I wonder if it's Brandy and Carlton.
I'm Caitlin Marshall, your pop culture and Bravo bestie.
Allegations, allegedly allegations.
And if you enjoy fun conversation between friends, listening to your bestie rant about shows we can't get enough of, plus enjoy a little bit of, well, ridiculousness.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. There's a spider that is coming down. Hold on.
It's like the Blair Witch Project.
Oh my God. Has anybody seen my ring?
Oh my God.
I don't want to ruin the party or anything.
Have you seen my ring? Oh my God. Can you look on the floor for my ring? God, someone's gonna kill me.
Don't mess with me because I will come.
What? Oh.
Feel free to leave that in for whatever entertainment purposes.
You're in the right place. So thanks for joining me on Besties by Bravo. Hi, besties. Thank you for joining me today. It is Wednesday, July 2nd, and our little detective Dodie got engaged. So adorable. Just gives me all sorts of nostalgia for myself and the engagement I had, and then also just thinking back to our young little baby Dodie and how far she's come. She's a mama getting married. Look at our girl. You know, I never thought we would have almost an incestual crossover of the lemur on Bravo, but here we are because Aaron, he had his Michelle's boyfriend had the most startle goat lemur combo going that I thought he was going to fall over and go meh any moment. Wow, he is in a perpetual state of fear, I think, shock, dismay. It's crazy. Anywho, besties, I really hope y'all love me because I know the patience you have had for me with the rest of the Secret Lives recaps have been so for real. I have notes done. Okay. It's been a matter of finding the time in my schedule to have an empty house for the recording time. My son dropped his nap. Good news, bad news. And yes. So thank God it's during the summer. We can get used to it while we can get him outside. The winter, send help. If I blink 5 times rapidly during the winter, just know that's me quietly screaming for help. Anywho, should we do this? Should we get into the recap? You know, it's funny, by the way, every time it's been a week since I've done an episode, because, you know, for a while there, I was recording at least 2 episodes a week. I feel like I forgot how to podcast. Yeah. Okay. Anywho, we are still in Hawaii and I am still jealous. We pick up at that dinner and Nia's dress was so cute. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but it was adorable. Anyway, Luke and Kristen aren't at the table yet. And it's because, remember, his grandmother is not doing well with her health. And the concern is that she's going to be passing soon. And of course, it's during the time that, you know, he's going to be proposing. So there's so much going on. The anxiety is at a Mach 10 here. And unbeknownst to Kristen, he does have that million times 12 anxiety also over this proposal. And Brittany apparently, we find out, has the nanny staying at her house the entire time that she's gone to stay with Cruz. And Jax is only coming to the house to spend some time with Cruz, but Cruz is not going to be going to Jax's place or really at all staying alone with him. He hasn't earned that yet. Kristen and Luke make their way to, well, let me rephrase that. He hasn't shown he can be trusted yet. Okay. Kristen and Luke make their way to dinner finally, and it's clear Luke is falling apart a little bit, but hopefully he'll pull it together. He doesn't until tomorrow, but that's okay. And Nia tells Kristen about Janet apologizing to her, which has Kristen wondering where her own apology is as well. Erin's talking to Jason about how childish Jesse is acting. And Michelle says that Jesse has actually gotten worse over the last year when Jason says he feels like he's observed him getting better. It'll get better, I think. But Jesse asks Erin when everyone's wrapping up dinner if he can have a little one-on-one chat with him. So everyone leaves them to sit at the table alone. And Jesse lets him know that as a father, it bothered the F out of him that when he came home from a wedding on Father's Day, he had his mother and friends sending him screenshots of a photo that Erin had posted with Isabella on Father's Day, which we found out in the after show. It was apparently a big group photo from a family barbecue from Erin's family that they went to over at Erin's house. So while I get it, it's not like it was a selfie Erin took with Isabella. Because if that were the case, I would be screaming, literally. Jesse feels that Erin should have asked him first about posting his daughter on social media. And listen, Erin is understanding. It's probably very difficult when you've got the one parent that you are romantically involved with who's like, yeah, post it. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, post it. It's so cute. It's my Michelle there. But anywho, Erin's very understanding of this. It's a tough situation all around. And the look on Erin's face, like I said, it's as if a lemur and a startle goat had a one night stand and Erin was only raised by the lemur. So his looks really went that direction. And if you were wondering about the incestual lemur reference, obviously from Summer House, the lemur energy there. So yeah, he looks more so like the lemur he was raised by because he favors her that way. Jesse cuts to the chase, though, with Erin asking him if he started his relationship with Michelle while they were still considered together. And Erin says no to any line being crossed in any capacity during their actual marriage before the separation. But apparently, Michelle and Erin had spoken a few times, one being a coffee meeting. And you can see Jesse's hamster, that hamster is hoofing it in the wheel in his head because Erin also says he told Michelle to come to Runyon one day because he was selling honey. There you go. Because Jesse's just going, I knew it. He also says that he and Michelle would run into each other frequently, but Jesse really, he just thinks that's all BS. And he feels it's time to let all of this go. And that's what he tells Erin, that he wants to find a way to get all three of them to essentially work together, be a united front, that whole thing. In confessional, Jesse says that he 100% believes Michelle and Erin had a relationship before they separated because they were in a relationship only 2 weeks after they broke up. Something like this happened to someone very close to me. And the relationship that the ex is in, let me just say, this person would never listen to my podcast, so I don't even care. But I would say I'll give that relationship 18 months. But it's also mostly the human being that I'm talking about. It's a sordid history there, but congratulations to that happy couple. Anywho, a real happy couple. It is proposal day, my friends. Apparently, Luke had a breakdown last night. Sorry, I'm not meaning to laugh at him, especially with the grandmother aspect, but it included snorting wasabi for $20. Sorry. Y'all, come on. That's funny. And then ending up crying to Kristen that he just wanted her to be there for him and storming off in his panties down the entire walkway of the hotel outside. Listen, if you are wondering if you were at a low point, in a state, let's not say a low point, but in a state of not quite being, ask yourself if you would snort wasabi for $20. That'll tell you. I'll tell you if you need to take a breather. At the pool, Janet, Brittany, Jasmine, Melissa, Erin, and Michelle are talking about the El Coyote dinner, with Erin asking how that night just happened to go so far sideways. Janet claims that there's a group of people that whenever the heat is on them, they throw out made up rumors, with the Jason rumor being one of her examples. And then she tries to say that the Jenna and Aaron past, we'll say, relationship fling is an example. How? That wasn't a lie that they had a thing. This is just, Janet, you are so obsessed with Kristen. It's wild. Because I mean, like, she is probably exhausted from running through your head all day. Jesus. Janet surmises it's a deflection, and her issue was that Kristen wasn't taking accountability at this dinner and believes that Kristen brought Jenna around to mess with Michelle and Aaron. Which Michelle even says in confessional, she's like, could y'all stop talking about this hookup fling thing that my boyfriend had with this girl? I don't care. She's ready to move on from this. Like, she's like, okay, we're going to go get massages. Like, go away. Benji and Zach are getting into the suitcase that has all the decor for the engagement party and t-shirts. And they included ones in Janet and Jason's sizes, but Zach has no idea really what to do about these things. The thought of Kristen stepping off the boat, newly engaged, and seeing Janet with a fake smile plastered on her face and a t-shirt with Kristen's face on it was maybe going to be a step too far. The t-shirts are everywhere at the moment, and Kristen knocks on their door and walks right on in as they're trying to like hustle to cover it up and put it away. They literally say to Kristen, oh my God, we're naked. And she could not give a shit. She just strolls right on in. Anywho, the three of them chat about last night, with Zach trying to joke that he loves that there's someone more dramatic than Kristen, referencing Luke. And it is sweet because Kristen defends Luke on what he's been dealing with, and especially his grandmother, and it was just a lot. She's like, no, he's not being dramatic. But Luke comes in, and in confessional, he does admit that the last night was a total shit show. And he asks Kristen if she can shave his neck for him so he can be nice and trim and clean cut for the day. And you guys, this is one of the many reasons we love Kristen Doty, because she is so fucking hilarious for this, not knowing she is about to be proposed to and saying she's not even going to shower before she goes on this boat because she doesn't want to be gross and smell like fish and fish guts, all of that. So Luke doesn't know what the F to do and tells her she needs to shower and get ready now. As she tells him that you don't have to shower every day when you're in Hawaii on the beach. Oh my gosh. Nia is sending her inspo pics for cute couple photos to try and get on the boat because she's trying to be like, Kristen, these are the looks we're going for. It's going to be a joint effort. Please, for the love of God, come presentable. But yeah, Kristen is finding it kind of silly because in her mind, she's just going to be gross fishing on a boat with a bunch of fish guts on it. And you got to remember this too. Kristen is a lifelong vegetarian. So, and this is because she loves animals so much. So for her going fishing, I mean, gosh. Anywho, poor Luke, he is just fighting for his life here. And Kristen is not dressed up whatsoever. She's in like her bathing suit and shorts. And she's just saying, no, I'm pretty much dressed. In confessional, Luke lists every single task he's accomplished to get every bit of this proposal arranged and just perfect. But that Kristen not wanting to shower was not on his list of hurdles for the day. Listen, y'all, I did the same shit the day I got engaged. I was a pain in the ass. I was being a brat. I was pissed off. I didn't wash my hair. And I was so shocked when it happened. And because I thought it was going to happen on the trip we took. But I was so shocked. I'm not kidding. I almost fainted. My blood pressure dropped. My lips were tingling, which can I tell you all about how much of a disaster I am? Can I please? Oh my God. Did I tell you? I don't think I told you guys this last week. I don't feel like I did. No, I didn't. Do you know what I did? Do you know? No, you don't. I'm going to tell you. Was it last week? Guys, Maybe it was the week before. Did I tell you about how I gave myself a massive bloody nose in the shower? Did I? If I didn't, here's the story. I like to have cute nails. I went so long being so broke in LA and as an adult that like I didn't get my nails done. And I have kind of manly hands if I don't have cutesy almond shaped nails. And so they're long. Okay. I wear zinc oxide sunscreen because my injector said if it doesn't have zinc oxide in it, all it's doing is preventing you from getting burning and it's not doing anything for helping prevent aging. So I was like, oh my God, I have to get this zinc oxide stuff. And it goes on your body like chalk. It cannot get washed off. Okay. It is impossible. So I had been at the pool. I'd had makeup on, gone to the gym, and went straight from the gym to the pool. I was disgusting this day. Okay. I'm vigorously washing my face and I got a little too into it because I just wanted everything off of my skin. And my pinky slips in the soap on my face in the shower and goes up my nose. I impale my own goddamn brain. Okay. And when I tell you, I went, I think I got a bloody nose. I don't want to gross anyone out, but let's just put it this way. If you took a full bottle of water and just dumped it out, that is what happened in the shower. I don't know that many other people that could absolutely positively injure themselves to that point washing their face. I was gushing for at least an hour. And then McCoy, my son, was being a little jerk to me later on. And I started after my nose had finally gotten dried up and he had been put to bed. And I start tearing up when he's not in the room. And guess what happens? My nose starts bleeding all over again. And it got all over our dining room pillows. It is not safe in these streets, guys. Okay, let's take a break for a second before I start going off on more stories that are embarrassing. Because if you knew all of my bloody nose stories, I could go on. But I'll take a break now. Okay, thank you so much. So another time I got a bloody nose. No, just kidding. Oh, it's so cute when you laugh at your own jokes, right? That's what they say. Anyway, we are apparently going to have to get a Jack scene to be reminded that this is his show, even though it's not, where he's swimming with Cruz and playing with him and hear about how he was scared Cruz would forget him. He's not 6 months old, but okay, he didn't. And this is all he wants in the world is to see his son. It's just the best medicine ever. And seeing his son is the only thing he wants in the world. After getting Botox, fillers, and a haircut, that is. Jason, Aaron, and Jesse go get some shaved ice, with Jesse surmising in confessional that while he has no interest in being cool with Aaron, Isabella loves him, so he's got no choice, essentially. And we get a cut of Isabella telling Aaron she loves him on a FaceTime, the way that would rip my soul in half if I saw my child saying that to, like, my ex-partner's girlfriend. Oh, God. I am just too psychotic for my own good. I really am. Sometimes it helps, but sometimes it just doesn't. It would be so hard. There would be no logic or reason in my brain at that point. Aaron is trying to make conversation. That is it. Okay. He asks Jesse when the last time was that he played hockey, and Jesse just goes, "You sure you want to go there?" And Aaron's just like, I don't know. Where are we going? This is startling. That's my base level is startled, and this is extra startling. Where are we going? How are we getting there? But apparently when Michelle and Jesse were dating, they had broken up. And then it was the very last time that Jesse had ever played hockey. And it was around 2016. And he got a horrendous concussion, ended up in Cedars-Sinai Hospital. Now, they'd only been dating like a few weeks. They both had kind of different versions of this. So we're going to, And his choice of person to pick him up from the hospital was Michelle. So Aaron asks him if the concussion hadn't happened, does he think they would have ended up together? And Jesse says no. In confessional, the producer asks Jesse, basically, that he and Michelle got back together because he was concussed, which sets up the perfect opening for Jesse's joke of, yeah, I guess I've been concussed for about 8.5 years. Fine, it was a good one. On the after show, both of them, like I said, told a story. Oh, no, wait, this one. Oh, on the after show, both Michelle and Jesse were telling a story about how he got a second concussion somewhere in the 2 weeks right before they got married. The two of them were drinking at the house, had like the flashing lights, glow sticks, and Jesse decides to do the worm. It's hard to imagine for some reason. Do you know what I mean? Jesse's so like, he can be such a dork and be kind of that way, but it's just hard to imagine him being like, yeah. Anywho, he does the worm, hits his head on the glass coffee table, slices it open, has to get 14 staples in his head less than 2 weeks before their wedding. And apparently there was, again, more blood. I'm sorry. Blood everywhere. He had to the point where there was like handprints on the wall because, y'all, the head bleeds more than, aside from slicing an artery, it bleeds more than any other part of the body. So, of course. But apparently the paramedics showed up after they called 911 and it was like, freaking house music, flashing lights. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. Anyway, where am I? Aaron asks Jesse, though, if this was the only time that he and Michelle had broken up before he asked her to pick him up from the hospital. And Jesse says yes, with Jason joking that obviously there's one more time they broke up. And Jesse says it's when Aaron started dating Michelle. And this is so incredibly weird, but what's weirder is the fedora bucket hat that Jesse is wearing. Sir, where did you buy that? And where I just need to know so I can absolutely avoid that brand in store. Jesse gets in the jab that he and Michelle are technically still together because they're legally married, but okay. And Aaron picks up on the obvious here. He says, that must feel real good. Okay. In confessional, Jesse says that Michelle and Aaron were together while Michelle was still sleeping in his bed. So that's why he wants to get some digs in, which is also interesting how we have a second feeling for me of a Summer House crossover, like when Carl was telling Lil that Lindsay fell pregnant with child in the bed on the mattress that he bought. But okay. I don't even know anymore because why does this matter? Aaron asks Jesse how he feels about their conversation last night, which is good. But Jesse asks him to be on his team. I need you to be on my team here. Jesse, that's not it. How about let's move it more toward, I just need you to work with me some because I think we both need to maybe try and find a common goal here. Makes a little more sense. Jesse tells him that he will do his part to not call Michelle a lying, cheating whore. Okay. Well, you know, Jesse, it's just the very least you could do, you upstanding citizen. But he wants to confirm that Aaron will now respect him after calling his girlfriend a lying, cheating whore, of course. But this respect is in regard to what happens with Isabella and him wanting Aaron to come to him to find out the boundaries. Aaron tells him, respect is a two-way street, buddy. And Jason is literally just sitting in the middle of this street right now. And, you know, it's funny. I feel like Jason has just enough of the Janet in him to enjoy the show, but not enough to clearly feel anything other than a little uncomfy. In confessional, Jesse thinks that because Michelle doesn't respect him, that'll be tough for Aaron to follow along with respecting him. So anyway, all right, Jax FaceTimes them and it's a bunch of blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, we miss you, need you here. And Jax thinks he's going to make a cute joke that he needs to come stir some shit up. No, we're doing fine. We don't need you, asshole. I'm sorry, we don't need you, Jax hole. Kristen, Luke, Danny, and Nia get to the boat. And Danny and Luke are trying to plan out exactly what he's going to be able when he's going to be able to propose and get all of this done, get her out to the front of the ship, all of it. And Danny, Nia, and Luke are fishing because, again, remember, Kristen is a vegetarian. This is not for her. Animals, she loves it. Or loves them, I should say. It's now 10 minutes to sunset when Luke will be proposing. And Nia, God bless her precious soul, she is trying so effing hard to get Kristen to get cute and take these sunset photos. Kristen's not having it. She's like, no, I just feel gross and sticky. And I already don't like to take pictures as it is. It is now 5 minutes until sunset, and she's fixing her hair and makeup. But she couldn't just be fixing her hair and makeup just anywhere. She has to be sitting on top of the bag that Luke put her ring in. So the other three are out on the deck panicking, trying to figure out how to get her freaking ass going. And I swear, Kristen and I are the same in this one sense. I mean, just without a clue in the world. Because that's the thing too. If you're able to surprise people like us with something, because I'm a detective type of person, but there's no way we're going to end up being easy about it if we have no idea what's coming, because we don't know how to be just easygoing. Nia's trying her damnedest to get Kristen out on the deck. Kristen is stressing, and the trio outside is trying to devise a plan for when Kristen finally gets out there. And now she's out there and she's like, I have to pee. But Nia was smart with this one because she distracts her by asking her to take some pictures of her and Danny before her phone dies. So smart thinking, smart thinking. Luke and Kristen line up, but Danny goes ahead and uses their little distraction of seeing quote unquote dolphins across the way. And Luke is trying to get her to turn around. And she's searching for these dolphins. And when she finally does, Mariposa sees Luke down on one knee and goes, what the fuck? It is so perfectly Kristen Doty coded. It doesn't get any better than that. It is so perfect. That is it. And she's just like, are you being serious right now? Yes, so perfect. He asks her to be the catch of his life. It's so cute. On brand, Kristen's hyperventilating as Luke almost puts it on the wrong hand because he's nervous too. And yay, Mariposa's engaged. It's so cute. Zach and Benji, I guess, had always planned on swapping rooms with Kristen and Luke. And now Zach and Benji are having to pack up all of Kristen and Luke's shit in their room and move it to theirs. And they're, completely unpacked every drawer. It's a whole ordeal. They almost get caught by Jesse bringing Kristen's dresses into their suite. So now they have to tell Jesse. And Jesse, I can't lie, it was really hard to hate him after this moment. Okay. He gets the idea to call the hotel and that they need to get 500 white roses and 500 hibiscus petals and put them all over the room. But then suddenly it grows into 5,000 white flowers. 5,000. Jesse, are you that bad with numbers? Do you know how many 5,000 is? No wonder when he went to go call florists, they hung up on his ass. 5,000. Sir, we don't have that many in our facility. That's every fucking flower we have. It stresses Zach out a little bit after remembering that Michelle had been saying Jesse was broke now after spending all of their money. So he's like, sir, are you going to put it on a credit card? Like, what's happening? Melissa and Jasmine are in their room, and Melissa makes a joke that it's their engagement time, which, no, girl, you're a girl. You know better than that. But did they get engaged in Hawaii? I almost feel like the photos I had seen looked like they were getting engaged in Hawaii. Well, it was on a beach, so it could have been California. I don't know. Zach has a whole thing set up out on this grassy area overlooking the beach. It's gorgeous, super cute. They're going to have dinner and drinks over there. It's kind of near the pool. And then he realizes he's going to have to tell Brittany about the engagement. So he calls her and he's kind of dreading it. And he tells her she's going to be mad at him. But unbeknownst to him, she's got her phone on speaker in the bathroom where she's sharing room space with Janet and Jason. And Brittany, God bless her, automatically freaks going, does that mean Jax? Is Jax here? Is it Jax? Which honestly, it's 100% a valid concern and also 100% something that Jax would do, just show up like that. And she has already been traumatized by Jax Taylor in Hawaii. I mean, who could forget the sunglasses? Oh, sunglass hut. I bet Jax is not even allowed to set foot in a sunglass hut. Gotta order that shit online now. No, Zach does let Brittany know that Luke proposed to Kristen, which Britt's gonna get all bent out of shape sideways, backways, and forwards. Okay. She's upset that Danny and Nia got to be there, but she didn't. And I understand the feeling of the FOMO, especially in that moment, because of how long the two of them have been best friends. It's not the end of the world. You get to be there for celebrating. It's okay. All right. Zach tries to explain to her it wouldn't have made sense if both of them were on the boat, but Brittany's like, it would have absolutely made sense if I was there. I wanted to go fishing. Yeah, she says she was already trying to go and join in on the fishing, which on the after show, she has to remind us, I love to fish. I grew up fishing. I'm a country girl. Yeah, I'm a Kentucky muffin. Anyway, so of course she'd want to go. And she says in confessional that Kristen is like a sister to me, and I would have loved to have been there and been in that moment because I feel like all these other people knew about it but me. I mean, yeah, I get it. But also, Luke explained on the after show that because first Brittany on the after show said that she was told she was not informed of the proposal because of Jax. And Luke explained it that Jax has this way of drawing things out of Brittany. And it's like, kind of a thing of he knows how to manipulate her and play her. And Jax has the biggest goddamn mouth on the planet. So it would have never stayed a secret. It's not that big of a deal. She needs to be a little more understanding of that. That also they knew she's going through some real shit right now. So anywho, problem here though is that Jason overheard the conversation and goes and immediately tells Michelle and Janet is about to crash the F out over Kristen Doty getting engaged. As soon as Jason tells them, Michelle's like, oh, really? That's so cool. And Janet's like, oh my God, good for them. In confessional, she's like, effing mother effer. They've now left their child for the first and longest time, and it's for Kristen's engagement trip. Well, really, it's like, it's not about you, Janet, and it's also like you. How do I explain this? That the trip didn't have to be about one individual. Yes, it's about now about celebrating this, but it's also like it's not about you and just your trip. And she tells Jason she is wanting to bow out of this dinner for the evening if it's a group one. So Jason goes to call Zach. And Janet tells Zach she heard about the engagement and that she doesn't think she and Jason should come to dinner because it's super weird and she just wants them to have fun, celebrate this whole thing and yada, yada, yada. Zach tells her he doesn't want her to think he was excluding her. And Janet isn't really worried about that as he tells her, okay, I got t-shirts made. I laughed out loud when he said that. I don't even know why. It just did. And I think it'd be a little aggressive if you had a t-shirt on with their faces on it, especially without having, hashed anything out. He says that it's not a sit-down dinner. It's like hors d'oeuvres, standing, all of that. And that if she came, it would show she does want to smooth things over. And I fully agree with Zach on this. They, if they just came to the dinner and maybe tried to sneak in more nonchalant, so it's not about them entering the villa. I've been watching so much Love Island, you guys, it's unreal. Anyway, I just think Janet's going to be a grade A+ asshole about this, and guess what she is? She claims she wants it to be about Kristen and Luke celebrating and having fun, and the thing is, Zach is completely relieved because he did not want them to be there. Janet and Jason go into Brittany's bathroom where she's still getting ready to tell her that they're going to their own dinner, with Janet saying they'll talk to everybody back in LA, which has both Brittany and Jason going, what? What do you mean by that? Well, Janet is going to be a spoiled little brat and try to say she wants to go back home and not hang out with everyone because it's turned into Kristen's engagement trip. If it had been about, I don't know, anything to do with Kristen, would you be saying that? Like, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. If it were Jasmine's engagement trip, would you have to leave? I'm telling you, the obsession Janet has with Kristen has just reached a whole new level. I understand being angry about Kristen throwing out that ring rumor about Jason. I get it. I do. 100%. I will logically concede to that. But at this point, just let it the fuck go. Okay, just have fun. You don't need to be all up in her business and be like, oh my God, I love you so much. Am I going to be in the wedding? You don't have to do that. Just don't be a dick. Anywho, Janet tries, I'm sorry. See, there we go. In confessional, Janet says that just because Kristen went for her marriage And also Jesse and Michelle's marriage. It doesn't mean she doesn't deserve a happy engagement celebration. Oh my God, girl, bye. Michelle and Jesse were done long before Kristen even gave them a second thought. Janet tries to use the defense with Brittany and Jason that they were excluded, that she and Jason were excluded from this whole thing. And thank you, Jason, for standing up to her and not letting her spew bullshit, because he tells her no, they were not excluded from dinner, and that he does get there's weird tension between her and Kristen. But Janet says the trip is for Kristen and Luke now. Again, it's oh my God. I think you just can't stand to be around Kristen if she has something happy and positive going on, especially attention. That's what that's about. Janet wants to leave and go home. And Jason tells her that he literally took off of work to be there in Hawaii, so they're not leaving. I have a feeling Jason rarely stands up to Janet. So when he does, Janet's like, oh, okay. Don't like that. Brittany's feeling super weird because it's all happening in her bathroom as she's getting ready, and she lets them know that. But Janet puts on this fake giggle like she wants to go eat. And Brittany's like, okay, it's weird. Janet and Jason finally leave the bathroom with Janet telling him she's not going to the dinner tonight and it's TBD on tomorrow. Again, proud of Jason for calling her out and down on this because he tells her to stop saying the TBD bullshit about tomorrow. He tries to get her to slow down and chill out on the we're not the center of attention, so I'm leaving. I mean, he didn't say those words, but did he have to? She then sidesnipes him with, why don't you go down there and celebrate with them? Jesus, dude. The entire presidential suite is being decorated super cute for when Kristen and Luke get there. And Zach at this point, he's like a very tall squirrel on some immediate release Adderall trying to decorate with Benji and Jesse. And Jesse's just like, are you having a panic attack right now? What is happening? As he's just standing there in a towel pretending to help. In confessional, Jesse says that as a self-identified functioning panic attacker, he might suggest Zach scream into a pillow. And as if I will ever have that image and sound not burned into my brain, we get a flashback of Jesse screaming bloody murder into the pillow with that life coach of his that Zach tosses the suitcase of shirts at everyone and runs to get changed. Kristen, Luke, Danny, and Nia show up, and everyone's really just in their confessionals talking about how great the two of them are together and how much they love. And Zach does let them know he swapped their rooms, and Luke apparently did know the whole entire time that they would be switching. Y'all threw my ass off of your scent. You're good. Okay. So the next episode looks fantastic. Can't wait for Kristen to go full doty on Janet because Janet just really irk me, Miss Ma'am. Besties, thank you again for joining today. Keep an eye out. I will be releasing Secret Lives recaps to get us all caught up there. Be sure and leave a 5-star review if you could, please, with a comment about what you do enjoy about this show. Go follow me on social media, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to YouTube. It's at Besties by Caitlin, Caitlin. And check out the Pop Culture Besties Etsy merch shop. It's all designed by yours truly, and it's mostly Bravo, my friends. Okay, Besties. This was short. Oh my gosh. It was such a fun little episode. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. I will see you again soon. Keep an eye out for those Secret Lives recaps coming. Okay. Bye.